The 12 Pyramids of Dwahiti. Preface. The writer of these pages is I, Dwahiti the scribe, who moves through many realities as teacher and author. I am linked to the Great Pyramid as a creational force, having come here through the gates of the 12 Pyramid Matrix to create realities. Many will remember and quote my teachings in texts, scrolls, stone tablets, keys of knowledge, or encoded genetic memories to be found at the end of each cycle. I have entrusted my original teachings to those who were my priests and priestesses, who must one day restore this knowledge in full definition. At that time, they shall incarnate as the teachers and healers of their lifetimes. These readings shall be found at the end of a cycle which transcends time and space. And they shall remember, and I shall help and guide them. If you have come to this place, you have come to the temple that will take you to 12 pyramids of light. I am here to tell you a story of 12 pyramids that came through that which you call the void to enter this world and create a physical reality in which souls can experience. At the time of my writing, these 12 pyramids stood on the physical planet, placed there by design. Though each pyramid may appear to the human eye to look like the others, remember that each one is unique in frequency and purpose. Within each of the 12 pyramids were 3 entities for a total of 36 creational forces. And these 36 forces set down upon the earth life forms of different shapes and designs. They used energies of light and the tones of crystals to create. When the 36 were complete, they left the surface of the planet in their pyramids and remained outside of the physical planet, where they created a grid system which linked together all things on and off the planet. This was in the form of a matrix web. At that time, I, Dwahiti, who would be a scribe and teacher within the matrix, came to this place and wrote this book for you to find at this time. Within the book are your keys. A great pyramid was built by my design on the surface of the planet. It would be a duplicate of that which is above and would link to it. And I would come through this pyramid many times in many forms to guide and teach the souls who would come to this place. Your coming here has unlocked the door for those who were the priests and priestesses of a time once entered in the story of humanity. We shall now journey to the first of 12 pyramids that waits beyond this reality yet holds its creation in place. Let's travel to Pyramid 1. And so now I'd like to encourage your commentary. We have been introduced to the preface. First thing I'd like to talk about is the name Thoth, Tot, Dwahuti, Trispermes, Hermes, Trispermes, Enoch. I've researched the entity known as Tahuti for many, many years, and I first knew of him as an Egyptian scribe, as the word of Ra. And over the years, about 20 years now of research, I have grown to know him as a powerful creator God who has essentially rolled out the matrix of life that we call life on earth. So there is an endless number of descriptions or names given to this entity, and there is an equal endless number of ways to pronounce the name. So in many of the videos, I've pronounced it Thoth, and some I may have pronounced it Thoth or Toth. And in this series, I've decided to use the Kemetic name, which is the original name from the actual culture where the entity lived. And I pronounce that Dwahuti. So we can, have commentary about the different names and what powers he may have possessed when he was called those things in those various cultures. Some things that I want to bring out in commentary would be these. One, he mentions that these writings would be found at the end of a cycle. We are at a very unique point in history. We are actually at the end of a precessional cycle. Remember the Mayan calendar ending December 21st, 2012, and there was some debate over whether it was 12/12, 2012 or 12/21, 2012, but there were a lot of 12s, right? And there's 3 within 12. This is the end of a precessional cycle. As I said, it's a very unique time in history. A precessional cycle lasts for 26,000 years, more technically 26,800 years, and it's the time it takes for the sun to orbit through all of the zodiac. That cycle takes 26,800 years, and we happen to be alive at the end of such a cycle. For those of you that are familiar with the Bible stories, remember the story of Noah. That too occurred at the end of a precessional cycle where he's gathering up sets of like kind, sets that God wants to see in the new world. And so those sets of animals, of people, of creation that match the vibratory frequency of the new world would all survive and move on to that new world and be the progenitors of that new world. What I also thought was interesting within this preface is Tahuti mentions that the priests and priestesses of that time would be the ones to find this material. And so, what possibilities are conjuring up in your head at this moment? You, being one who has heard these words, perhaps even meditated upon these words, perhaps one who has sought these words, perhaps you have stumbled into these words, yet you are here. And now that you are, what does it mean to hear the words progenitor of the new time, the new earth? a new lifestyle, a new consciousness. We are in a new era, an era of soul light. The first day beginning August 8th, 2003. This is an era lasting about 15,000 years, and it is an era within which love, light, abundance of life will be created. What if you are one of the progenitors of this consciousness? What if you have been studying and searching and reading and applying so that you can awaken your DNA, so that you can awaken your memory, your Akashic record, your truth of who you are and what you've been doing on this soul journey? And then there is the prophecy that says that the priests and priestesses would find this information. Is that limited to the people or persons who found the original documents? Is that expanded to all who are exposed to its knowledge, its keys, its contents, its wisdom? Does that limit the priests and priestesses to those who put forward the information? Or is it for all who find their way, however they find their way? Now, this is what I find to be the most intriguing question. What will you do now that the knowledge is before you? How will you apply it? How will you use it to transform you, to elevate you, to enlighten you further? I leave you with these wonderful, deliciously contemplative thoughts, and I look forward to your comments on YouTube in the comment box below the video. Pleasant comments, please. Comments that will generate thought provoking and life transforming and light awakening conversation and practice. Application is the key. This is how knowledge becomes wisdom and wisdom becomes power. By taking the knowledge and applying it in whatever way that is comfortable for you. And we would love to hear about your positive results in the comments section. So, looking forward to entering into pyramid number 1.